Hi. As many of you know, Donna Adelson is coming up for trial this month on August 19th with a hearing on the 9th in Leon County, Florida. Donna Adelson is married to a dentist, Harvey Adelson, and they have a practice in Miami, Florida. They have three children, adult children. Charlie, who is also a dentist and works in the family practice. Wendy, with an I, who is divorced from her late husband, Dan Markel, a renowned law professor in Tallahassee, Florida. She has two sons, and they have an older brother named Rob, who is estranged from the family. And I think that the story of why Rob no longer speaks to his family is very telling of this family, and particularly Donna, the matriarch of this crime family. You see, Rob married a woman who was not Jewish, and she was from India, I believe. And Donna, who is not very religious herself, had a problem with this, and gave Rob such a problem that he succumbed to the pressure, divorced this woman, remarried a Jewish woman. Didn't work out. Surprise, surprise. He divorced her and remarried the first woman. Now they're very happy, and he doesn't speak to any of them, for which I am sure he is very grateful given recent events and not so recent events. This is not a family you want to have an affiliation with, despite the fact that they think they're the bee's knees. So the problem that started all this is that Wendy with an I, was getting divorced, and they were dealing with all the things that people with children who are married deal with when they get divorced, like custody and where you're going to live, and where you're going to, all these things. And Wendy hated Tallahassee because she's also the type, the certain type of person, they just hate where they are. They're just so, like, no one forced you to start a whole family there. And I mean, to hear her talk, Dan had never been a good husband, but she chose to have a second child with him. So explain that. Anyway, so Donna gets involved, and she doesn't want Wendy in with an I in Tallahassee, and she wants to see her grandchildren, and she starts to concoct all kinds of crazy plans, stupid plans, like convert the children to Christianity so that Dan Markel's family won't want to have anything to do with them or something like that. Dan Markel's family, by the way, is very religious, and Donna didn't like that either because there's no winning with Donna. And that's a lot of nerve considering she's been walking around with this face her whole life. I mean, I feel like with that face, you should have a little grace for people considering, you know. And I'd also, while we're on the subject, would like to put an end to this nonsense about Wendy being so beautiful because she's average at best, and blue eyeballs don't make you good looking, Wendy. So, kohelokon, take it easy. Where was I? So, Charlie Adelson, the dentist in the family practice, who's also a bachelor, by the way, and seems to date only Asian women, uh, he gets involved in this whole thing, probably because of his mother, Donna, getting him involved. And he mentions to his then girlfriend, Katie Magbanoa, that, he'd like to get someone gotten, so to speak. And she says, "Oh, bet. My baby daddy is a Latin king. I'll give him a call." And Charlie, who's such a big shot and such a hustler, says, "I'll pay you, I'll pay him, I'll pay whoever I have to. Let's just get this done." Now, right here is a good example of a time when somebody should take a step back and take an honest look at themselves. Because, Charlie, you are a Jewish dentist. Don't get involved with the Latin kings. Just know when you have stepped out of your element and you are not equipped to deal with something. I'm not saying that these people are below you or above you, or it's just different. You know what I mean? It's just, listen, I've been asked to go whitewater rafting. I'm not going whitewater rafting. You know why? Because I know myself. I don't like outside. And I don't want to start liking outside. What if I go and I love it? Then what? I know what my limits are, where I should be, where I shouldn't be, who I should be with, who I should not be with. I'm not hanging out with the Latin kings either, so anymore. So she calls her baby daddy, Sigfredo Garcia. He calls his buddy Luis, and they set this whole thing up. And Dan Markel is off in the garage of his home, Tallahassee, Florida. One thing leads to another, and now Katie Magbanua, Sigfredo Garcia, Luis, I think is his name, uh, Charlie Adelson, they are all in prison now forever. They've been arrested, tried, found guilty, put in prison. On January, and I'd like to say one more thing about Donna. This thing that she did with her eldest son and the children, and just this lack of, to someone like Donna, nothing is sacred. And that to me is that shows somebody with no moral compass. And I'm not saying, look, I've said this before, I'm not a religious person, but I have a respect for people of faith and a respect for their faith. I try not to be willfully ignorant about any religion, any faith. And if you can't respect beliefs, I mean, I'm not talking Lori Vallow beliefs, but the faith of other people and the way they live their good lives, then there's something wrong with you. If you have no respect for anything in other cultures and other lives, there's something really missing there, and it's never good. I mean, it's not like it's that ridiculous to expect to have two children, marry someone, have two children with them, and that's a commitment. What did you think? You were just going to be able to get up and walk away? They were going to try to pay him $1 million at some point. Dan Markel is not taking money, so he never has to see his sons again. I mean, the whole thing is so insane. Anyway, on January 24th, Donna was apprehended at the Miami airport where she was going to Vietnam for a vacation, the one-way ticket. She has been there before, she said, and I know that people vacation in Vietnam, and it's a lovely place, I'm sure. But for some reason, when I think of Donna having been in Vietnam before, my first thought was that she had to go there to bail Charlie out of jail for some kind of sex crime. But I'm sure they were just there on vacation. I don't know. And don't even have to look this up. My guess is that they don't have extradition to the U.S., which also makes it a lovely vacation spot when there's a warrant out for your arrest or whatever there was. So she has been waiting since then for this trial that is pending. And what did I miss? Probably a lot. Apparently, Harvey is not involved, really. I mean, I don't know. There's been some talk about certain things he's done, but I do know that they were keeping him out of the loop, which leads me to believe that he must be smarter than them if they knew that he wasn't going to like this plan. And I don't know why I'm so surprised, but I'm constantly surprised at how stupid Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson are. I mean, these are very stupid people, and they think they're so smart, as stupid people tend to, I guess. But, I mean, Donna did things like washed money, I guess, to get rid of evidence that could have been, I don't know. This was a calamity. I mean, total pandemonium ensued with these people and their plan. And unfortunately, Dan Markel lost his life because of this nonsense and their ugly souls. So I will be here for all of the legal proceedings, and we will talk about it some more if you want to. And of course, we'll continue to talk about Sarah Boone because that's never going to be over. And I think that's it for now. Correct me if I said anything wrong or forgot to mention. I'm sure I forgot to mention a lot of things, but this is just my upshot, my quick and dirty on the Adelsons. Thank you for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye.